and welcome back. Today I'm gonna do the promised review for the Gucci Dionysus bag. This is something that has been requested by a few people. I guess this bag is really hot right now, so a lot of people are thinking about buying it, and I actually went through a long process myself deciding if I really wanted to get this bag or not. So now that I have used it a few times, I thought it was time for me to kind of give you the real deal, the real scoop on what I think about the bag, okay? So first of all, let's get started. The bag costs $3,600. This is a embellished Dionysus bag, so you can choose from the plain ones that actually just have the Gucci pattern on them and just the suede color right here. You can have the pre-made embellished ones like this one right here, or you can actually do the customized version, the Gucci DIY bag, and that one I was actually just with a friend that made a Gucci DIY, and that one cost about $5,100. Okay, if you are looking for the less expensive version, obviously the plain one is the best option for you to go with, and they have the plain one in the mini size, which I think is like $1,900, and then they have the plain one in this size as well, which is kind of like the medium original size. So the less expensive one is the simplest, most understated one. This embellished is probably the intermediate style, and if you really want to have a bag that is made exactly how you want it, then I would go for the DIY. Right now the DIY can be done in New York and Los Angeles in the US. I know that in Paris they do it as well. I was just in Paris recently and I went to see the store. And the way the DIY works is you pick kind of like a pre-made version. It's not like you get there and you completely say, I want this patch here and I want initials here and it doesn't work that way, okay? They have several models to choose from. You pick the overall model that you like the best, and then you customize that overall model with changing the color right here, and changing the color of the suede, or if you want python leather or croc, and then which would change the color of the pocket in the back as well. You cannot really change the patch locations. It is whatever the pre-made model is already there for you. You cannot change that. But some of them, the patches come in different colors. So for example, there is a snake one and you can pick the snake in different colors, but it will be placed in the exact spot that it already was. And then you can also add your initials to the bag. And on the side, when you open the bag, you can actually have your initials or your name kind of embroidered on the suede on the inside of the bag. So the DIY, and you can also change this part right here as well. So the DIY is for those of you that want a bag super unique that is gonna be really all about you. I was talking to the Gucci rep in New York and he was telling me, the designer, a lot of people complain that you cannot do the DIY and go do exactly what you want. And what the rep said is, Erica, a lot of people actually have very bad taste. So they're gonna come here, make a carnival of a bag, and then put the Gucci name on it. The designer wants to have some control over the final product because it's representing his design and it's representing the Gucci brand. And he was like, we don't want, tacky people to come here and make a mess of a bag and then be displaying this horrible Gucci everywhere. So, I wouldn't complain either. I would want some control myself. So it is a DIY to a certain degree, if you will. Okay, so these are your three options. I decided to go with this one right here because I wanted the embellished version. I think the regular version is really pretty, but for me, I wanted like a real standout bag, and I was like, that's not gonna be cool enough. So I decided to go with the embellished one. You can get the embellished one with crystals, or there are other designs that are just the fun patches as well, without the crystals. Okay, so first of all, let's talk a little bit about the exterior of the bag. First thing that I want to mention for those of you considering, the crystals are pretty delicate, okay, and they can fall out. You have to be careful with this bag. This is not a bag that you're gonna take every day to go to college or walk around all the time. If you get the crystal version, this has to be one of your more special bags that you wouldn't be wearing everywhere, beating it up, throwing it on the couch. You have to be a little more careful with this bag. The other piece I want to mention to you guys about the crystal as well is that the crystals, they are put in place with these little metal prongs like so, right? So the metal prongs are what holds the crystal in place. When I first purchased this bag, a lot of the prongs were not completely closed up to secure the crystal. So the ones that were standing up would actually catch on my shirt, okay, as the bag was like hanging like so. And my husband, who's a very handy, loves projects, loves fixing things, he actually got a little special tool at the Gucci store. We went to the Gucci store at the Natick Mall here in the Massachusetts area, and the lady had like a little special tool, and he just stood there on the counter at the Gucci store kind of putting all of the prongs back in place. So he took care of it for me. Now it's all nice and smooth, but there is a probability when you first get it that not all of your prongs are going to be nice and smooth. I would take a look at that and then make sure that they're nice and tight in place, because you could lose a crystal as well. And actually mine, when I got home from Ireland, I looked at my star and it was missing a crystal. So I went to that's why I went to the Gucci at the Natick Mall, and the lady actually fixed it for us, let my husband actually get the crystal from another bag that was damaged, and he replaced the crystal on my star for me. And ever since, he went through everything, haven't had any problems at all. I wore this bag quite a bit, but I think it's something that you do need to consider. Depending on the final purpose, if you do not want to deal with this and you still want an embellished bag, then get the ones that don't have crystals. They have like the patches, super cute. They have like snakes, some of them are flowers, butterflies. Fabulous choices for you to choose. I personally wanted all the sparkle, you know, I wanted it to be like super sparkly and kind of like a showpiece for me. So I wanted everything with crystals. And even after telling you this, I do not regret it at all, because like I said, once my husband fixed them, I haven't had any issues. I traveled with it, no problems at all. So if I had to do it over again, I would still pick the one with the crystals. The other thing I want to talk to you about is this pocket right here. As you can tell, I already have some color transfer, right? Because it is pink. I actually did put a kind of a spray that you can use on suede. I use it on my shoes a lot. I have some beige suede shoes that get dirty really easy. So I sprayed, I actually got it at Journeys, you know, at the store at the mall. And you can spray your suede shoes, and it kind of puts like a protection layer, so you can wipe it and you can clean, and it works really well. So I did spray that on just the back of the bag, but it just didn't prevent it from happening. You know, suede is kind of a nightmare, really. If this was leather or python, it wouldn't be such a big deal, but the suede in the back will get color transfer. And I know most of them, the suede is a lighter color, or on the plain ones, I notice a lot of the plain ones without all of the embellishments, the suede is kind of like a beige khaki kind of color. I guarantee you that's going to give you color transfer. So if that bothers you, either you don't get the bag, or you try to get one that has dark or the python pocket, because then in that case you're not going to have any issues. To me, again, it does not bother me. I don't care. Nobody's seen this piece of the bag. I knew this was probably going to happen anyway, so I don't really care about it. But I think it's something you need to consider when you are making your final decision and when you are picking the actual bag that you want. So to open the bag, let me show you. You actually have like a little, almost like a little button here. I don't know if you can see that, and you press that little button, and that's how you open the bag. Okay, so you press the button and you open the bag like so. So you can tell the bag is all suede on the inside. And the bag has a few compartments, which I think is really cool. So it has a really large one on the back, and I put my wallet in here. So this is a pretty big wallet, guys. No problem. Like, I have plenty of space and space left in here for more, okay? And the whole compartment, the first one is made out of suede. The intermediate one has a zipper. So let me show you right here. And you can close the zipper like so, okay? And I love this one because the inside of it is not suede. It is actually this Gucci canvas, which is way more durable. So to be honest, I put most of my things here in this middle one because I feel like if it gets dirty, it's not gonna be a big deal to clean, right? Because all I have to do is wipe. The suede, if it gets dirty, I mean, it's probably done forever. So I tend to use more of the middle compartment. And then you have a third compartment right here, which is also pretty big. So here you can tell I have my makeup here. So powder, blush, and then lipstick. And then the bottom of it is the Gucci canvas as well. So you can tell that this right here kind of like stretches, is actually quite wide. In terms of space, this bag is quite awesome. And then you have one final pocket right here on the front, you know, and this one is kind of like more of a thinner pocket. The bottom of it and one of the faces is made out of suede, and then the front is made out of the canvas, okay? So in terms of space, I think this bag is awesome. It will fit whatever your heart desires, really. It's not an issue with this bag at all. Now, one thing that I think you need to consider is this bag. This is the other piece of information I'm gonna give you, is that this bag is pretty heavy, okay? When you look at the construction, because it has like a very structured style, and then in this case you have all the embellishments adding weight, this guy right here is quite heavy, adds weight, and then you have the chain. So this is a heavy bag. I would compare this to a Chanel Jumbo, because I have the Chanel Jumbo. It's kind of like the same style, maybe even slightly heavier than the Chanel Jumbo. So here's the thing. Even though it is super spacious, I would not fill this baby up. What I actually do when I go out with it, I don't even bring a wallet with me. I will take a card holder, you know, one of those tiny card holders, and then I'll take like the makeup that I need and my phone, and that's about it. Because obviously I don't want to add more weight to an already heavy bag. I did walk with it in New York for 2 days in a row, all day long with the bag. I mean, yeah, it's heavy. I mean, was I in pain? My shoulder killing me? Not really, but it's not a bag that you're gonna be able to wear for prolonged periods of time, because, you know, it is kind of on the heavy side. So let me close here. This detail right here, and I know that I said it's heavy, but in a way, the heaviness of it kind of makes me happy in a strange kind of way, because it makes me realize how well made this bag is. You know, the structure of it, the finish right here, you know, the piping of it, this piece right here in the front. I mean, look at this. Look at how gorgeous. It has crystals on its eyes, like a little tiger or a little lion, right? His little face right there. I mean, how well made is this? Full of crystals. So, you know, when you get something heavy, they're like, oh my gosh, this is like awesome quality, like this is the real deal. This is how I feel about this bag. It's really the real deal. Everything is gorgeous, best quality. The canvas is very durable. It is washable. It's almost like plasticky. So if something happens here, you can easily wipe this up. So I think in terms of how well it's made, superb craftsmanship. The other thing I want to talk about is right here, the chain. So you can wear it shorter, like so, and that's usually how I wear it. I'll show you. Like so, okay, on my shoulder. Or you can, you know, do it the longer way and kind of wear it shoulder as well. But this, guys, is not enough for a crossbody. Well, unless you want to go like this. But no, it is not a crossbody bag. I tend to carry like this because I just think it's easier, either on my shoulder or even if I just hold it like that by my feet. This is kind of how I carry this bag. The chain is very, very well made, great quality as well, so no concerns there. Now, you might be worried about the size of the bag, you know, because the leather is also light of it getting dirty. I haven't had any issues with this at all, like because it has all of this piping right here and also the piping at the bottom. Really everything is kind of touching this part and not the actual leather. So mine is actually pristine still, and I've used this bag quite a bit. I put it on top of tables, and the sides and the bottom are actually in great shape because you have this plastic right here. That's, you know, that's the part that is actually touching everything. So what I would say, you know, all in all, I love the bag. I would absolutely purchase it again. I think it's a very unique piece. It is a bag that everybody is crazy about when they see it. Definitely kind of like a statement piece, if you will. So here is my opinion. If you do not have a lot of bags, if you're kind of starting your collection, or if you're looking for something that is neutral, easygoing, this is not the bag for you. I feel like this is the bag is for someone that already has quite a few bags, already has some all-day bags that they can beat up all the time, and they're looking for something more unique. So when they go out for dinner, when they want to go to a party, or when they're going to go out on the town with their friends, they really want to kind of like be the bomb, then this is the bag. Not an everyday bag. I think you can still use this style and still kind of jump on the Gucci train, but pick the one that is plain, that doesn't have any embellishments. And then the other advice I give you is either pick a darker suede color so you don't have to deal with the color transfer issue, or if you can afford, I think Python is really the better option, because then you have leather, you can wipe it, it's way easier to deal with. Now, if you are looking for a bag that is a showpiece, that is something completely unique that nobody around you is going to have, you already have some basic pieces, which is the case with me. I wanted something completely out of this world, and this is absolutely the bag for you. If you're looking for more of a collector's piece, if you want something that's more high fashion, more of a statement, and is gonna kind of put you apart from everybody else, absolutely go for it, because there is no one person that is not gonna look when you're walking around carrying this bag. So I hope this helps you guys. I try to be really unbiased. If you had to ask me, Erica, knowing all that you know today, would you still have bought this exact bag? And my answer is absolutely yes. I am so happy with this bag. I would still have picked this exact same one. It is exactly what I wanted, a showstopper, something that hardly anybody else has, and it fulfills its purpose for me. So hopefully this will help you with your decision. If you have any more questions, leave them in the comment section below. I have tried all the sizes, I have seen all the styles in person, and hopefully I can help you make a good decision as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Love you. Bye-bye.